So after a month of not taking my lithium medication, I'm now back on it. So, you guys, it's been a few days. First off, just quick updates for those of you who follow me regularly and sent a whole bunch of inspirational shit over the weekend because of the spiral that I had last week. I am doing great. I'm doing better than okay. And that's sort of why I kind of wanted to make this video. So I have been off of lithium medication for about a month and a week now. And when I say I've been off of it, I actually started it again last week, but it's not in my system fully, so technically I'm not really on it. But I did start it sort of on my second week of going up on the dosages. So originally I decided to stop taking lithium because I was having a lot of different health side effects and just I didn't feel healthy physically. I didn't think that my behaviors were making me unhealthy physically. I thought it was the medicine. I generally get just weirded out by taking medicine anyway. It was giving me nausea. It was making me vomit. Even when I would try to take it with food, and I would try to take all the precautions. It was just tearing up my stomach. I had these weird lymph nodes popping up. I don't know if that was from the lithium medication, but I didn't have lymph nodes before popping up, and I don't have them now. I was on lithium since last April, and it was really the only drug that sort of helped me. It actually gave me my quote unquote life back. I didn't have any significant, I haven't had a significant episode in a year. Oh shit. Yes, it's awesome. I haven't had a episode in a year, and that's honestly thanks to lithium, because I started taking it last spring and it kicked in. And I did have these side effects, but they weren't I could live with them, if that makes sense. Abilify made me have to go to the bathroom a lot. Tegretol broke me into hives. Antidepressants were not working. I tried every single one of those in the book, every single one. Lithium has worked its magic, and it came to a point though where I was just I can't take this. It's making me sick every single night, and I can't sleep. And it sucked. So I was you know what? I feel my life is stable enough now. I'm gonna come off of it. And be careful, but I'm gonna come off of it. And I want to just sort of come off of taking a lot of medication so that I can kind of cleanse my body. I don't know, that's just the type of person I am. I'm one of those people. And to be honest, in totality, things have been really great, considering that I have bipolar disorder type 1, and I came off of lithium, just came off of it on nothing else. So I think I've been doing pretty good. This is actually my mood chart here for the month. So as you can see, there has been some fluctuations, but it hasn't been too bad necessarily. I think for the most part I've been stable, and a lot of my quote unquote spikes or episodes weren't I guess prolonged, and they actually were attached to significant life changes. So one, I'm taking my Adderall still, so I didn't cut out all the medication. I really tried not taking my Adderall, but that's really hard for me when I have work and I can't focus, and I just couldn't do it. So I started taking it. So that's sort of the high energy that you see that's caused by. I typically take 20 milligrams in the morning and then 10 in the afternoon if I still need it. I realized that might be a little bit too much, because that's when I was sort of feeling those high highs and not sleeping. So I started just bringing them in the quarters and taking them throughout the day, so as needed. My doctor says that's probably best, and I feel I'm able to control sort of that high. Right now I'm on Adderall, but I don't feel I feel able to focus, but I don't feel that energizing feeling. It's just focus, if that makes sense. The other thing was that I talked about, I was having some problems in my relationships. That's the other thing, is that it was really hard for me to deal with that. I think if I was on my lithium medication, my lows wouldn't have hit so hard, if that makes sense. I think it was sort of a shock to me, because I knew I would be upset and sad. But it was sort of just also why am I devastated, not in the emotional oh my god my heart's broken, but why am I taking it to the extreme of chastising myself, chastising the other person, in my mind, not to them, but in my mind, and then just really just those negative thoughts, why is this happening, I should be able to deal with this in a healthy way. And I sort of have mixed feelings about that, because that's sort of when my lows were low and I was feeling sort of oh my god, this could spiral into a depressive episode, it's cloudy outside, it's winter, and something big just blew up, this could ruin the rest of my winter. That's seriously what was going through my mind, and I felt lithium did not fix that. It wouldn't have made it like, oh, I'm not sad about this, but it would have made me like, okay, I'm sad, hang out with friends, like do constructive things, like maybe not like don't lash out as much, and like, you know, be more constructive about it. Don't be so impulsive. And I feel like that like obviously wasn't the case. And I was very impulsive with my emotions because I didn't have the lithium medication. So at the same time, though, the reason why I'm feeling in a much better, stable state now is because I kind of mended that relationship trouble, I guess you could say that. Like, we're not dating. We decided, like, you know, obviously things are too chaotic for that. But we are, like, I did realize, like, inside of me that was like, you know what? This isn't how you deal with relationships, in terms of, like, just like cutting people off before like they have a chance to hurt you. Like that's just like not, like if you miss somebody in your life, regardless of like how you want to have them, like it's your personal choice. But for me it was like, if I miss somebody this much, like if I'm spiraling right now and I'm missing someone from like being in my life, regardless of how they're in my life, then like I should just, like I should tell them that. Number one, like it was became like almost like a pride or ego thing. It was like, you're like not weak, like if you're weak if you go back and try to like mend this relationship. And it was like, no, you're not weak, you're actually strong for like realizing that this is like what you want. And there's not a problem with wanting someone in your life. There's like, it's very vulnerable, yes. Like I think a lot of the ego also came from like, I don't want to be hurt because I just literally tried this. If it doesn't come back in the form I want, then like I'm gonna be hurt again. And I'm like used to being like hurt throughout my like all that trauma and stuff, y'all know. So like but I thought there and I said, like, what's the worst that can happen? Like, what's worse than this right now? And honestly, like, that's sort of like the grown up decision. And, you know, now I have that person in my life and like, it's not the same at all. It doesn't look the same, but like, it's a lot better than like just like severing relationships, considering that like how important relationships are to me. So, like, the fact that I was able to do that off of my lithium medication also points to the fact that, like, okay, like lithium was helping me get through these things, but like I'm off of it now. And like while I suffered like some blows in my mood, I was still able to like counteract that. The only problem is that like it happened like a few days late. It happened like I wasn't able to realize that up front. I still made impulsive decisions. Now I quickly backtracked those and like that's great and everything has worked out. But I'm worried like at a point where like what if like something doesn't work out? What if I do something that I can't come back from? A big thing for me is like debt. Like when I was manic, I was like psychotic. I was in this frame of thinking that like I really like just had like these funds and I was putting everything on credit. And I was like going to like I was traveling like abroad and it was just like I'm thinking back to it. It was just like a time and I'm still paying off those credit cards, like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And that's something that like can happen very quickly and like something that like you can't just be like, oh, I realize this now, learn from our mistakes, let's change this. It worked this time with this relationship and like everything, but like what if I was like cutting stuff off with like another friend or whatever that didn't like work out? Or what if like I'm impulsive at work? Or what if like again I spend money if I'm manic because I took too much Adderall and I got excited? I don't know. It's like very unplanned. It's scary. And I don't think I trust myself. And I'm not sure. I'm struggling with between like, do I trust myself because I still make mistakes and I know I still make mistakes. And sometimes when I'm making those mistakes, like for example, taking the Adderall, like some days like I know I should not be taking a 20 milligram Adderall, but like at the same time I'm like I kind of want to for work because I can get so much more done, but I know that this could have bad effects, but I'll do it anyway and I know that. So like if I'm doing things like that and I'm not mature enough to just like say no to everything, then I feel like I should be on lithium medication just to make sure nothing happens, you know? Like I just don't want anything to go wrong. But at the same time it's like, okay, like lithium medication has its downsides. It obviously has been linked to like bad things like liver failure and a whole bunch of other side effects in other people, but in you specifically, it literally makes you so sick. Last night was my first night going up on the medicine onto a higher dosage, and I was so sick. I didn't get any sleep. I'm exhausted, which is weird because lithium used to make me super tired when I first started taking it. And now it's like not. So I'm not even sure if there's like maybe residual lithium left over in my body. I don't know. I just know that it made me really nauseous, and I was like, I'm never taking this again, never. Like right then and there, I was like, why did I do this? And I woke up this morning and I was like, all right, it wasn't that bad, but it was. So I'm struggling, you guys. I am doing fantastic, like in my mood. I'm happy. I'm happy that I made the right decision, and I'm like making like these like good behavioral changes, and like I'm really noticing my behavior. Like I'm really proud of myself, and that's something I don't say often. It feels kind of weird to say, but I'm in a good mood today. I went to a support group last week. I'm gonna start that. I could do another video about that. It's really awesome. It's twice a month, and I think that like I might just switch to a different medication than lithium, but I think I need to be on something, but maybe it's just not lithium, you know? Maybe because I've done like so quote unquote like good at living without lithium for this month, even though it's only been a month and half of that month I was probably still on the medication. A whole bunch of different things. I think it also proved though that like I can kind of do it. So maybe like lithium isn't the medication that's right for me. Maybe I can find another medication that like is tailored more towards like my anxiety or something, or I don't know. It's like makes me hopeful for the future in terms of like my recovery path and like medications. All right, y'all. I'm gonna hit y'all back with another video, but y'all have an awesome week. I hope y'all are somewhere where it's sunny and not cold. Peace out. Remember to like, share, comments. I love to hear from y'all, and y'all are amazing. And remember to subscribe and to hit that subscription notification button to find out when I'm uploading new videos. All right. Peace.